Were the Red Army just a bunch of peasants? Was it just a peasant army filled with a ragtag bunch of ragamuffins that didn't even have enough rifles? You know, 3 men, 2 rifles. When he dies, you pick up the rifle. Cliches like that. Does that accurately represent the state of the Red Army in 1945? I'll just say it. I'm just going to flat out say it. The Red Army was the premier land warfare force in the world in 1945. You could argue that the Red Army of World War II was the most powerful army in human history by the time it was really got going. They had just defeated the Wehrmacht, one of the most highly regarded armies in the world, in 4 years of cataclysmic battle on the Eastern Front. And they hadn't just ground them down; they had smashed them in several battles, such as Bagration, which is the largest military defeat the Germans suffered in the war. The Soviets were good, man. They were really, really good. And by 1944 and 1945, they were well equipped. If you look at the amount of armored fighting vehicles they could put onto the battlefield, it was truly frightening. Plus the quality of their armored fighting vehicles. Things like the T-34, a very highly regarded tank, right? Like the Soviets they were no joke. And people look at, some cliches from very desperate battles like Stalingrad and think that represents the Red Army, and it just doesn't. Yes, in terms of the individual soldier, they were probably less well-trained and less capable than their German opponents or their Allied colleagues. That's definitely true. But the Soviet method of warfare did not emphasize individual quality. It emphasized something called mass and concentration. So what the Soviets were the best in the world at was maneuvering gargantuan forces and coordinating them effectively. And this was extremely difficult to stop. A Soviet large-scale offensive, like a whole front attack, was like a tidal wave, like a tsunami. The Soviets were truly a formidable enemy. They were well equipped. They were very dangerous. They knew their business. Their generals knew their business. Their doctrine was good. Their equipment was good. They were a very formidable enemy for the Western Allies in 1945, man.